I've reduced my screen time from 5 hours a day to 30 minutes a day, and I've stopped scrolling on social media entirely. And in this video, we're gonna cover 3 tactics that reduced my doom scrolling massively. If you don't know me already, my name is Leo Myron. I'm 70 years old, and I help guys quit doom scrolling and unlock their potential. Let's get right in. The first tactic is to plan your day. Now imagine this, right? It's 4 p.m. on a Tuesday in 2022. I'm 15 years old. I've just come home from school. Earlier this year, I discovered the concept of self-improvement, of productivity, of discipline, of masculinity, of becoming the best version of yourself, all that stuff. And I knew that I should be doing something productive even after school. But I'm fucking tired, and I'm bored, and I'm lonely, and I've got brain fog. All my energy has been sapped from school. I've done all these bullshit fucking tasks in school. So what do you think I do? Do you think I actually go do something productive, like pick up a book and read the book, or go and work out, or go and start working on a business, for example? No. I grab my phone, I lie down on the couch, I open the phone, I open TikTok, and I start scrolling like a fucking NPC, just mindlessly. Not even aware of the fact that it wasn't even a conscious decision, it was just a reflex because of the fact that I was tired and didn't really know what to do. And this shit has happened hundreds of times in my life. Like I've come home from school, hundreds, maybe even thousands of times. And a lot of those times I just came home and started consuming content mindlessly just because I was fucking tired and bored. I didn't know what to do, So the lesson for this is that when we don't know what to do, when we haven't planned anything, we're so much more likely to fall into bad habits. Like, for example, just opening your phone and start scrolling like a fucking NPC, like I did. Because the thing is, with scrolling, it's so easy to do when you're bored, lonely, or like tired, because it fulfills those desires, but without any friction, without any pain associated with it. Like, you can open your phone and get the little feeling of having like a friend, for example. Like when you scroll and you consume other people's content, it scratches the itch of the social sort of desire inside of you, and it stimulates you because you get some new ideas from a little shorter TikTok that you watch. So it's sort of it stimulates the part of you that craves like stimulation and stuff because you're bored. So it's a lot easier when you don't have anything planned, when you have a pocket of time that is like free time, when you don't know what to do with it. It's so much easier to fall into degeneracy. Like I've done it countless times, and but whenever I do have a clear planning for the day, when I know what I'm going to be doing, I basically never just grab my phone and by reflex just open the TikTok app or fucking scroll and do shit like that. So what I've realized from this is that the solution to this, like a really effective tactic like this tactic, to prevent scrolling and doom scrolling and breaking that addiction, is to not have any free time in your day. To not have any time in your day that is not planned out, that you don't know what to do with. And I know this might sound a bit crazy if you're new to this stuff, but I can tell you, bro, like there's a proverb in the Bible, so like a text, like a quote from the Bible that is, idle hands are the devil's workshop. So idle hands means that you don't have a task at hand, you don't really know what to do, you don't have anything planned out. You're not like you don't have anything to do, basically, and that's when you're a lot more likely to fall into degeneracy or bad habit, like for example in this example with scrolling, because it's frictionless, right? And the crazy thing is that not having any free time in your day is actually more fun than having it. Let me explain, right? For us guys that are on this path of self-improvement, of masculinity, of becoming the best versions of ourselves, like you wouldn't be watching a video like this about bettering yourself and quitting a fucking just a fucking destructive habit, the like doom scrolling. You wouldn't be watching this kind of content unless you were on this path as well, right? So for us guys, like, we don't derive actual fun, actual enjoyment from these pleasurable activities. I know it might feel like it in the moment, but like if you can't derive fun from the activity after you've done it, it's not actually fun, Like, for example, when I think back to something that in the moment wasn't really that enjoyable, like for example hiking up a fucking mountain, which I did on Mallorca, which is an island of Spain, a few weeks ago. It was fucking hard when I did it, right? It was a trudge, right? But now that I've done it, I can look back and smile, and I can sort of have fun still from that experience, which is just so OP because it compounds, right? So for us guys, having free time where we aren't productive, where we don't have anything to do, that isn't actually fun, you know? And yeah, bro, so just get that shit out of your head ASAP, man. It's as soon as you get on a dopamine detox, when you actually do manage to reduce your doom scrolling, it's sort of a flywheel, and you'll realize that it wasn't even fun in the first place. It was just that your brain was so fried that scrolling was the only thing that could stimulate it, right? So basically, we need to plan out every single hour, like all the time, of like 100% of the time in our day. We need to have it planned out. We need to know what to do as much as possible. Obviously, we're going to have to make some decisions as we go along, but we want to minimize them. We don't want to be having to think to ourselves, man, okay, what should I do today? What do I want to accomplish today? Because then you're a lot more likely to just think, oh well, I'm not really sure what to do, and then your subconscious pipes up and basically tells you to, oh man, your phone is within arm's reach, maybe you should grab that thing and check your fucking Instagram or some gay shit like that, you know? It's so much easier to do that. You know this as well. Like you're probably basically like my age, you're probably between like 15 and 20 years old or something like that, and you probably had a bunch of experiences like as I had. When you come home from school, it's like 4 p.m. or whatever, and you just mindlessly consume content like a fucking, you know, maniac. You probably had that a lot, right? So what I want you to do specifically, like this is it, right? I want you to go into Google Calendar on your computer, and I want you to block out every single hour of your day, what you're gonna do, like from when you wake up to when you go to bed. So I'll put up some screenshots of my Google Calendars on the screen right now. You can have a look at those. One is from a little while ago when I was more focused on kickboxing, because I had a few kickboxing fights last weekend. So you can look at those, like the structure that I'm having in my day, and sort of it's very repetitive, but that's what creates the most productivity, right? And even though my timetables, my calendars might not look very fun to you, like when you truly get onto a dopamine detox and you do the same things every single day, those things become fun just automatically, you know? It's like, just fucking try it, okay? Just fucking try it. Go into Google Calendar, make your own timetable, decide the times where you're gonna wake up, where you're gonna go to bed. That has to be the same time every single day, no exception. It's a bit beyond the scope of this video. Like I won't delve too much into sleep in this video, but basically just have the exact same wake up and bedtimes every single day without fail. Weekends isn't a fucking thing. That's a modern day construct for the 9 to 5 sort of work life thing. Like it's not biological. It doesn't. It's not your human capacity, right? You wake up and go to bed at the same time every single day, okay? And then you also eat food, preferably the same times, and even preferably the same things every single day. That's also a bit out of the scope of this video. But the point is, you plot those in. You plot in maybe school, or if you go to work, like a 9 to 5, you plot that in, things that you sort of have to do, the fundamentals. And then you also plot in the things that you want to do, like work out, work on your business, read, hang out with friends. You plot everything out, just like your ideal day, your best day, right? You plot everything out in the Google Calendar, and you just try to follow it the best as best as you can, right? And the power with this is that when you are making this timetable, when you're planning, when you're making the decisions in a batch, you're unemotional about them. Like for example, you might plot in that you're gonna wake up early, for example, because you want to have the early mornings to work on your business. But then when you do wake up in the morning, you might not really feel like it. But then that version of you doesn't actually get to decide whether you wake up or not. You just do it because you decided yesterday. And you have this sort of non-emotional, logical, masculine frame to like the decisions that you make in terms of what activities you're going to do on a daily basis. So like for example, let's say you come home from school at 4 p.m. and you plotted in that you're gonna work out at that time. You don't actually get, like, you at 4 p.m., let's say your name is Jack. 4 p.m. Jack doesn't get to decide whether to follow the timetable or not. He doesn't get to decide whether to go to the gym or not. He just doesn't, okay? So he doesn't have to make the decision during like that period of time, so that, and then basically what that means in terms of doom scrolling is that he's not going to be falling into the bad habit of grabbing his phone and scrolling, because he doesn't have this mental battle of like thinking, oh yeah man, what should I do at this period of like this time period, what should I do? He just knows it, and you can streamline the entire process, and basically it's like riding a wave, just cyclical like this around the clock, and you're running, you're outpacing, you're outrunning falling into bad habits really. So this is it's been extremely effective for me to reduce my screen time and not fall into mindless consumption like a fucking NPC. So I want you to follow your timetable as best as you can, and I also want you to obsess over it. I want you to memorize it. I want you to look at it all the time. I don't want you ever to have your timetable like ready but just forget about it and therefore fall into doom scrolling. I don't want that. I want you to obsess over it, and I want you to know the ins and out of it, and I want you to like make it part of you, and it'll be extremely effective for reducing doom scrolling. Like I fucking guarantee that you'll see such a significant difference. Okay, just make your timetable, obsess over it, look at it all the time, and follow it the best as you can, and I guarantee you, your doom scrolling will be significantly reduced. By the way, if you want me to literally hold your hand throughout the entire process of quitting doom scrolling, I made a program called No Scroll Protocol where I cover all the details of how I did it step by step. It's exactly what I needed when I started out on this journey, and it would have saved me so much time. The program is linked in the description. You can go have a look at it right now. Now, the second tactic to quit doom scrolling is to set up your digital environment for success. Let me explain. Doom scrolling is inherently frictionless. It's inherently pain-free. It doesn't require anything from you apart from this fucking motion. That's it. This. And your brain receives a lot of stimulation from it. So this sort of your brain perceives the ROI to be extremely high, because you get a lot of social interaction, a lot of insights for nothing. You don't have to do anything. There's no risk whatsoever, apart from losing hours every day, of course, but that your brain doesn't have context on that. And when we doom scroll, it's often automatic. It's often that we don't even it's not a conscious decision. We don't think to ourselves, oh yeah man, this would really be I really should go and I really should grab my phone right here and open the app and stroll like this for fucking NPC. Let's say you're staying up late as well. I'm gonna lay in bed in the fucking fetus position like this, with my phone here, and I want to scroll like this, right? To fuck up my sleep and everything else associated with that. It's not often a conscious decision, it's often automatic. You often do it on autopilot because it's so frictionless and because your brain is just wired to crave it. So what we can do to quit doom scrolling in that regard, or reduce the amount of time that we doom scroll, is to just add friction to the activity, to doom scrolling. So if we manually make it harder to doom scroll, less appealing, less dopaminergic, it'll be less appealing for our brain, and it'll be like we won't just randomly grab our phone as much, at least. Because if we grab our phone and every time we do that, we don't get the same, our brain doesn't get the same sort of dopamine hit that it expects, then it's gonna change its perception on the activity, and we're gonna start to disassociate the activity from the reward. I know this might sound a bit confusing, but just think, if you add friction to doom scrolling, you'll doom scroll less. So let's do that. We're gonna set up our digital environment for success. So we're gonna make sure that our phone is that we do things to it to make it less appealing and less distracting, okay? So we want to make our phone discourage scrolling. That's the function of the digital environment. It's designed to discourage scrolling and sort of encourage the thing that's productive on your phone. Like, for example, if you want to call someone or a text message or something like that, right? The things that you actually need your phone for, not this bullshit scrolling. The first thing that you can do is to enable grayscale on your phone. So this is something that I've done for a while now, and it's been very effective. So basically, grayscale means that your phone is going to turn black and white, which it might sound crazy or some shit, but just fucking try it. And what will happen is that your phone is going to be so much less appealing. Like, this is even research, data study backed, all that nerd shit, you know? Consumption decreases by 30% across all people, and that's like scientifically proven with like studies and shit. So it's extremely effective. You can even try right now. You can go into settings on your phone right now. If you're on your phone watching this video, you can pause the video, go into settings, go onto like just search color filter in settings, color filter, then click grayscale and enable that, and it'll all turn black and white. It's quite interesting actually, but it's very fucking effective because it turns your phone dull and sort of boring, which sounds negative, but it's actually very positive, because if your phone is boring, then everything on it is also going to be boring. That's what it is, like including doom scrolling. So TikTok is going to be like 5 times less, or not 5 times less, but like a few times less stimulating, and so is Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts as well. And the grayscale filter also acts as a reminder that every single time you grab your phone and you open the app, it sort of reminds you that you shouldn't really be it reminds you that you of the fact that you shouldn't be going on your phone unintentionally just because you're addicted to it and go and scroll on your phone, you know. It reminds you that, man, this isn't actually as fun as I thought for a split second in my brain when I thought of the idea of grabbing my phone and scrolling. It's not actually like, this looks fucking boring. So then you're hit with that realization, and it reminds you that you shouldn't be scrolling. So I want you to go and enable that right now. If you're watching this on your laptop, then grab your phone, go into settings, and click on the little button like on the color filters right now. And the second thing that you can do is to delete the apps, you fucking pussy. I have a little script for these videos, so that's what I wrote for this one. Delete the fucking apps that you scroll on that disturb you. All the short form bullshit content like TikTok, Instagram, even YouTube. Like, bro, you can just watch YouTube on like educational YouTube content. You can just watch that on your computer. Like, you don't need your phone for that. That's what I do, because I still consume YouTube. Obviously, it's a great source of education if you use it properly. But yeah, just remove all the bullshit social media apps, all like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat. There's a lot of short form content on Snapchat these days. Fucking Pornhub, if you're watching short form porn or some bullshit like that, obviously stop doing that shit. But like, remove all the apps that don't help you, okay? Remove all the short form content apps, remove all that shit. Like, it's so disrespectful to yourself to have them on. It's kind of like, it's so weird, man. It's almost like you have your phone, which is supposed to be your sort of space for organization of everything in your life. Like, you have your contacts there, you can call people, you have your Gmail, you have your necessary apps like your alarm. You have this thing that can really help you in your life if you use it properly. But then you have some fucking bullshit that can reverse the effect. It's almost like you have a girlfriend, for example, that you want to stay faithful to, and you and her are are laying in bed, but then you have a fucking naked whore just bending the fuck over, you know, a few meters away. It's a great analogy I got from a guy called Hamza. Like, it's almost like, it's having these apps on your phone is like having the thing that you're like cheating with next to you. It's so like, just fucking stop doing that shit. It's like having a fucking prostitute next to your bed, you know. So just fucking delete all that shit. If you're scared of social judgment, just get fucking over it, okay? It's not worth, like, the struggles that you're going through with doom scrolling. It's not worth the sort of the perceived validation of others because of the fact that you have these apps. Like, for example, I had Snapchat a lot. I sent these gay ass pictures to people, which is also short form content, and like, I had streaks and stuff with people in my school, and I deleted that in 9th grade because it was fucking retarded. You know, it was fucking retarded. Why the fuck would I have that on my phone? It just wastes time, and it's so dopaminergic. So I want you to delete all the apps, remove all the bullshit social, like fear of social judgment, all that stuff. Man, the sun is really peering through the pine canopy, bro. Fuck yeah. So yeah, man, just delete all the apps. They're all gay. Like, please trust me, bro. Nothing is gonna happen to your social life if you delete all the apps from your phone. Even if you think so, even if, oh yeah, man, I'm staying in contact with these people that I care about on these apps. Like, first of all, they're probably not even your friends. You probably don't even give a shit about them. It's just that they're the only friends you've got. But then also, like, Why would you want to be friends with people who, for example, consume a fuck ton of TikTok or Snapchat or some bullshit like that? So just delete all the apps. It takes fucking 1 minute. Come on, just do it right now. If you haven't done it already. Oh, fuck. If you haven't done it already. So just do it. And then I also want you to disable the notifications on your phone so that the apps on your phone can't just pull you onto their app or like onto the phone when it's convenient for the app. That doesn't make any sense, right? I've disabled all notifications on my phone because I don't want my phone to be able to contact me when I haven't given it permission to. Like, how do you feel if anyone in the world could just contact you whenever they felt like it? That wouldn't be very nice, right? You know, you haven't given them permission to do that. You don't want them to be able to do that. I don't want these apps or like these companies basically being able to pull my attention, my limited resource, my time onto their fucking app whenever they want it. Like, come on, bros. It's fucking retarded. Disable all notifications. And I also have do not disturb on. This is a sort of a side note, because if you do have apps on your phone that you scroll on, if you disable notifications, like the notifications on your phone, you're gonna be less likely to go on there. For example, Snapchat or TikTok or Instagram or whatever, if you have notifications from there. But then I also have do not disturb and silent and also airplane mode for the majority of my day on, because I don't want people to be able to call me, period. I don't want people to be able to call me, because then I'm also a bit more likely to go on my phone and like, I don't doom scroll. I haven't done that for a while, but that's like, for example, for you, if you if you get phone calls from people or text messages from people that go through this disabled notifications filter, you're still on your phone, and then you're gonna be more likely to start consuming, like scrolling. So that's what I would do as well. I've done that for like 1-2 years now. I've had silent, do not disturb, and most of the time airplane mode on as well. So you can just enable those as well. And if you think that you need to be able to take calls from people, you're probably wrong. If it is an emergency, fucking tell them to call 911. If it's not, they don't need to call you, okay? That's it. So enable do not disturb, silent, and airplane mode. Then also, as a final thing, I want you to add a screen time widget to your phone home screen. So basically you can get a little icon on your home screen that says how much time you've spent on your phone today, and it'll actually act as a bit of accountability, and it'll remind you as well. You'll go onto your phone and see fucking 3 hours and 46 minutes or some shit like that, and you'll think to yourself, man, I probably shouldn't be getting that number higher. So if you do all these things, grayscale, delete all the fucking apps, you put do not disturb on and silent and airplane mode, and disable notifications, and you put the screen time widget on, your screen time will fucking drop. I can promise you that, bro. It will drop tremendously. It will plummet. And the third and final tactic is to increase your willpower through meditation. So let me explain. This is my all-time favorite habit for quitting doom scrolling. It's an incredibly simple and powerful habit, okay? So I want you to listen closely. Meditation is the antidote to scrolling. So antidote means that if you get it or consume it, it sort of nullifies the effect of the original thing. Because meditation fundamentally improves your attention span, while doom scrolling decreases it. It makes it worse. And the reason that doom scrolling fuck up your attention is because of the fact that you're switching contexts every few seconds. You're watching one video, switch context, another one, and your brain is receiving all this information. So you're training your brain to think about a bunch of different things all at once, just interwovenly, or whatever it's called. You're training your brain to not be able to focus on one thing, which is fatal in the modern world. So the thing is, meditation, it reverses that effect. When you meditate, you become more mindful just 24/7, okay? So when you go throughout your day, you won't be like in the NPC autopilot mode as much. Like, for example, when you grab your phone and you start scrolling, that's not a conscious action like we covered before. That's a subconscious sort of mindless, not mindful, mindless action to grab your phone just by instinct, just by reflex, just because of the fact that external stimuli was fed into your brain, and then your subconscious processed it and spit out a reaction, and you're just doing that immediately without actually analyzing this reaction and coming up realizing the fact that this is bullshit. You shouldn't be grabbing the phone. Okay, so you're mindless when you let external stimuli, like the external world, control your behavior, and you're mindful when you intentionally and manually do it. Okay, so when you meditate and become more mindful, because this is literally mindfulness meditation, that's what it's really called, the thing that we're doing here. You increase the time of your day, or like the percentage time of your day that you are intentional with your behavior, and you decrease the time when you're just acting automatically. Okay, and also when you meditate, you also get these sort of mental reminders. Like, for example, if you are scrolling already and you're mid-scrolling session, right, you'll just randomly get a thought that says, maybe we should have been doing this. What am I actually doing? It's like you're pulled back to reality, because that's what you're doing. And I'm gonna explain to you in a second, like the step-by-step process of how it works. But when you meditate, you want to focus on the present, right? You want to be mindful, and you're gonna be that automatically throughout your day more, just like focusing on the present, which is the opposite of when you're scrolling, because when you're scrolling, you're in a trance, you're in like a hypnosis basically of this content. You're not actually aware of the things that, like, of what you're doing, because if you were, you'd stop immediately, because you know that it's destructive. And also, when you do get an urge to go and scroll, to grab your phone or to open the app, it's like you get a time window of a few seconds, like your brain halts itself from just indulging immediately, and you get a little time window to think through the decision, is this actually the right thing to do? Which is fucking massive. It's so massive, okay? Because when you do fall down that hole of doom scrolling, it's so much harder to get out than just not starting it, obviously, because it's like a reinforcing cycle. You get a dopamine hit, you want one more, you get one more, you want one more. This fucking loop, right? So when you have this when you get this time window before you actually go into the app, it's fucking huge, man. Trust me on that one. That's basically what meditation is gonna do for you. It's gonna make you more mindful, more intentional with your actions. You're not gonna grab your phone and doom scroll automatically, or at least as much, depending on how much you meditate. And yeah, it's gonna give you mental reminders and all the fucking good stuff. So now let's get into how to actually do it. So this is how I do it. I sit down or lie down on, for example, a couch, an armchair, or in bed at nighttime, and I close my eyes. And then I take deep, full breaths like this. Just like that. And then I focus my attention, like my mental energy, like my attention, my focus on the sensation of the air. So I try to genuinely feel the air rising up my nostrils and then going back down. They rise up, they ascend, then they descend down the mouth, and I try to feel every single particle of air go through. It might sound weird, just trust me, okay? I do that, then I'll get a random thought, because we all do, right? We can't, like, you can try focusing on a single thing with your attention for an extended period of time, but at some point you're going to get other thoughts. That's just how our brains work. You can actually control that. Like, you'll never be able to not wander with your brain, like you'll never be able to prevent mind wandering, but you can increase the time window that you don't do it. Like, you can extend the intermittent mind wandering. Instead of doing it every second, you get a new thought every second. You can do 10 seconds or 30 seconds even. Like the really, like, high tier people, like the real monks and nuns of this shit, like the literal monks, they can hold the thought for a few minutes, really. So it's not about not getting thoughts. You're going to get the thoughts, and that's really the point. Because when you do get them, and this is what I do, I get it, and then I realize that I've gotten it, because you don't really realize it immediately, you know? You get the mind wandering thought, and then you realize it, okay? So it's sort of a two-step process, that thing. And then when I do realize that my mind has wandered, I'm thinking, oh man, fuck, I'm supposed to be meditating. I manually redirect my thoughts, my attention, from this mind, like the random thought, to the original thought, which is my breathing, my breath. And this is fucking huge. This is it, man. This is like the bringing it back part. That's like a bicep curl for the brain, okay? That's a bicep curl for the brain. And the more you do that, the more mindful you'll be, the better your focus will be, and the more easily you'll be able to resist doom scrolling, because your willpower and your like mental wherewithal just increases, and you'll be able to resist the temptation of doom scrolling. So I actually meditate, or I've started meditating for an hour a day, or actually that's what I'm like, my new plan is I'm gonna meditate for an hour a day. I have done 10 to 20 minutes for a long time, but now I'm leveling it up to an hour a day. You can start with lower than 10 minutes if you want to, and then work your way up there, but I would absolutely recommend getting to 10 to 20 minutes every single day. I think that's sort of the 80-20 the 80-20 volume. I don't want you to be going lower than that, like 5 minutes. I don't really think it does that much of a difference, at least like in comparison to how much you could get out of it for just a little more time. So that's what I would recommend. You get it up to 10 to 20 minutes, you slot it into your timetable, like so you know when you're gonna meditate. You can also stick on guided meditation, which I like, which is I have my headphones and I go on Spotify or YouTube and search for like Andrew Huberman meditation or something, or Hamza Ahmed meditation. He has really great ones. Those are the ones that I've used the most, like Hamza Ahmed, actually. Fucking great guy, by the way. But I go onto like YouTube, put on the little guided meditation thing, and the guy says, inhale, exhale, not with that tempo, but like inhale, exhale, like that. And then you just follow whatever he says, you do it, and whenever you get a random thought and you realize it, you bring your attention back, and that's it. And the more you do that, in combination with the other tactics, setting up your digital environment and making your timetable and sticking to that, like you'll reduce your doom scrolling and your screen time fucking humongously, okay? If you want to learn more, you can click the link in the description. It'll take you to No Scroll Protocol, which is my massive full program on quitting doom scrolling. You can go have a look at that. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one, bro. See you.